Hello, this is Dan for Member and welcome to this training video on prospects and the sales dashboard. The prospecting system is one of the most important areas of Member, as it's where you're going to be generating sales leads, engaging with those leads and hopefully getting them to sign up. To access prospects, we first go to Sales and then click on Prospects, and this will take us through to the sales dashboard. At the top of the screen, we can see currently we've got no new prospects today, no tasks, no visits, and no monthly sales. So things aren't looking too good at the moment. First of all, we need to see how prospects come into the system. There's 3 different routes that they can come into Member. The first is that you can add them in manually using the Add Prospect button on the right-hand side of the screen. And all you need to do is simply capture some information. Choose the marketing source, always useful for reporting. You can also choose how they came in. So in this example, we've got a walk-in, and whenever someone just walks into the gym or perhaps calls, we should always try and capture their information as a prospect so we can get back in touch with them and we don't lose that sales lead further down the line. Click on Add Prospect, and they'll now be added successfully into the system, and we can see we've got 1 new prospect today. There are 2 other ways that prospects can come into the system. The first is via the prospect forms. These forms can be embedded into your website, so you can then direct traffic from your social media to your website. Members can then register their interest or ask to book a tour of the gym if you have those forms enabled and embedded in your site, and they will then come through as prospect profiles on Member automatically. Please get in touch with us if you need any help with this, as it will require your web developer as well to embed some code from our side. Prospects can also come into the system via our web drop-off system. When this is switched on, any members that begin sign up but drop off from the sign up page before they complete the payments tab will come into the system as a web drop-off profile, and they will then convert to a prospect after a certain period of time. This enables you to manage web drop-offs in a slightly different way, as when we discuss emails in a later video, you'll be able to make sure that web drop-offs receive different emails from regular prospects. Now let's go back to our prospect page. We can see we've got 1 new prospect added today, and if we go across to the dashboard, we can see on the prospects widget we've got the same information here as well. If I click on Go to Your Prospects, it'll take us back to the sales dashboard. So how do I see this prospect? If I click on View All, this will take us through to the prospect database, and we can see all of our prospects in the site ordered by their created date. We can see Jenny, who I've just added in here, and we can see who added the prospect in as well. And if we click on View Prospect, that will take us directly through to their prospect profile. On the left-hand side of the screen here, we've got all of their personal information, and we can change this using the Edit button. This will enable us to adjust something such as their email address or name if we wish to, and we can also adjust their prospect state. These prospect states are a label that you can put on prospects that will allow you to filter through your most important sales leads. All new prospects come into the system as a hot prospect, and it is possible in site settings to have them automatically switch over to cold after a certain period of time if they still haven't signed up. You can also set this manually, and you can also set them to blow out if a prospect has requested that you no longer contact them. You've also got the option to manually unsubscribe them from emails here if they request that, and there is a Remove Prospect button if any of your prospects need deleting. It is also possible here on the left to send individual emails to a prospect if you wish to. In the middle here we can see the timeline, and on the right here we can see our planning and logging tools. This timeline is how we're going to manage this prospect. When we're trying to sell to a prospect, we want to make sure we engage with them as much as possible, and that we also log any information that we can find about the prospect to make the sales process easier further down the line. So let's say the first thing I want to do with Jenny is give her a call. To do that, I click on Plan, choose Call, choose a suitable date and time. Let's just say today, and we'll book that in at somewhere between 5:30 and 6:40. And we'll just put in here, this will be an introduction call with Dan. Click schedule. And we'll see this now stored on the timeline here. If we go back to the sales dashboard in the calendar, we can see now we've got one task today, and we can see that here on the day itself. We can switch between a week view and a month view to see all of the tasks that we've got. And it is possible to schedule multiple tasks at the same time. So if you had a period of the day, for example, where you make all your phone calls, you could schedule them all in the same hour and then make each call separately. If I click on the call itself, it expands and I can go directly back to the prospect profile here. I can then mark that as completed. And if we go back to the sales dashboard again, we can see that task has been grayed out because it's now been completed. If I click on View Prospect, we go back to the prospect profile. I can now log how that call went. So I click on Log, click on Call. How did the call go? It was successful. And I can put in any information that I wish to on here. So I just put some information in here. Jenny's goal is to build up core strength over the next 6 months. She may also bring a friend with her. She would like to visit the gym on Saturday. I click on Log, and that's now going to be stored on their profile. You can see this timeline builds up with all the information that happens on a prospect, and when emails send out automatically, those will show up on the timeline as well. Now, Jenny wants to book a visit in, and I can certainly book her in the same way that I did using the tools on the right-hand side. An alternative way to book her in is to do it directly from the calendar. So I go across to Saturday. I can see when I'm available. Choose a suitable time. Click. Say I want to add a visit. Choose the time. I can search for the prospect here. And I can add in what we're doing. Tour of the gym with Dan and initial consultation. Click Save. That task will now be booked in directly to the calendar. And again, we can click on it, go directly to the profile, and we'll see that visit now scheduled on the timeline as well. Just as we did with calls, we can mark class visits as attended. And going through this process of adding in tasks is incredibly important because it's going to adjust your prospect database. If we click on Toggle Filters on the right, here we're able to filter between all of the prospects on our list. So right now we're just looking at those who are not signed up, but I could select, for example, those who have attended a visit in the past. So this list of prospects here, they came to the gym, they had a tour, but they did not sign up. Maybe we want to get in touch with some of them again to see what the problem was and if there's anything else we can do to hopefully get them to sign up. We could look at those who have missed a visit. We could look at those as well who have no tasks booked in at all in the future. So maybe our sales team need to get in touch with those and make sure that all of our prospects are being engaged with. If you go back across to our prospect here, we can see all of this information stored on their profile. And if we click across to edit here, we have got a toggle here called Signed Up. So the member system will automatically recognize if a member uses the same email address as a prospect and set them to signed up automatically. If, however, a member uses a different email address, there'll be no way for a member to automatically connect those two profiles together. So you can manually mark a prospect as signed up on the left here. This will prevent them from receiving any more prospect emails and will also move them to signed up on the prospect filters. We found this prospect guide useful, and hopefully you'll find these tools very powerful and a great way to boost sales in your gym. We do have more to cover with prospects when we look at emails, and that will be in the email management video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another training video soon. Bye.